Welcome back. Coca's Pizza here in Canfield. Second week of our playoffs covering the high school football season, and we are pleased to be joined by the quarterback and the safety for the Canfield Cardinals, Broc Lowry. Your second time here this season. I know Steve Leslie talked to you all the way back in week number one, but thanks for coming out again here tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
All right, so a lot of things have changed since that game against West Branch when we talked to you. You guys have put together a fantastic season, number 2 seed in this region. For you as a senior, looking back a little bit, has the season gone by fast, or have you been able to kind of sit back and enjoy it a little bit?
I mean, I try to sit back and enjoy it and really take everything in, but I mean, time really flies, definitely in football season. So I'd like to say it was slow, but I mean, it went by like a blink of an eye. But
there was so many good games this year. I mean, you look back at the season, West Branch in the opener, Dover, an overtime thriller. Cheney on the road was a fantastic football game. When you look back, what are some of your favorite moments from this season?
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite moments was Dover, and overtime they went down. They missed a field goal, and we got the ball, and I got the game-winning touchdown. It was just fun to see. I never felt that feeling, like everyone running the field after you, and it was just really good for like our team and stuff. Definitely after that loss against Cheney, just to get one back, and it was a big motivation.
New Philadelphia get the victory at home in the playoffs. As the quarterback, you've been there a time or two, leading your team to the regional semi, to the regional final in 2020. But it's got to feel great to get back out there in a playoff atmosphere. Everything's a little bit different in the playoffs, a lot on the line. For you, what was it like stepping on the field, especially at home? You know, a playoff atmosphere. What was that like on Friday?
Yeah, it's always great having home playoff games, and fortunately we have 2 this year. And the playoffs is just a whole different atmosphere. Like you could just feel it in the air. Really, it's every team just comes out with an edge to them because they know if they don't win, they have to go home, and every team's out for blood, and it's like going into war. It's a great feeling though.
We at YSN have had the pleasure to interview all 28 of the senior class this year. Everybody that comes on talks about the connection that you and your wide receiving core has. Kind of talk about that a little bit. It seems like you already know what route they're running before they even make their move.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time together just on film, on the field in the off season like that. We're all really good friends too, and yeah, we watch film with every Friday before the games and go through stuff like that. And in practice and stuff, we see something we like, we could tweak it. And I have the ability with some of those guys, like they have feedback for me. I'm not the one that's just like telling them what to do. They give me feedback on what they like, and in the game too, which is really helpful. And we've built a good connection that way.
How much of the success that you have had with your receiving core comes from the off-season work that you guys did in the summer?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, every Sunday we'd go with my quarterback coach, Jim Ballard, up Salem, and we'd throw. And he helped them a lot too with like where to line up on the field, the depths of routes and stuff like that. And that off-season work, it really benefits.
You talked about film a little bit, talking Friday that you watch film, but you know, for you playing both ways, you got to watch it throughout the week, right? From Monday leading all the way up to Friday. So what is your schedule like as a player? Of course, you got practice, you got to focus on school because you got to get to Indiana with those grades. Yep. But, you know, what does a typical day look like for you when you break down practice and then film?
Yeah, so in the morning before school, we have team film session and at the school. And that's about 30 minutes. And you go through school day, have practice. I usually go home. I get out my laptop and I try to get at least 30 minutes to an hour of film per night, whether it's with my quarterback coach or just by myself, writing down notes. So like what coverages they run and stuff like that. What defensive backs we think we could go at, and just stuff like that.
When you look at plays at the line of scrimmage, how much does film help recognizing kind of the blitzes that they might run, the formation defensively that they're in? How much does that help throughout the week, knowing that you're prepared on Friday night to face whatever defense they throw at you?
Yeah, it definitely helps out a lot, the film. I mean, sometimes teams switch things up, but usually at the high school level, I mean, it's kind of black and white what they do, and just see it on film and to recognize it in practice and in the game, it helps out a lot. It's definitely a big benefit.
How much easier do you think it has become since your sophomore year up to your senior year, recognizing blitzes and coverages and changing plays at the line of scrimmage? Like when you go out there as a sophomore compared to now, as a senior. Do you think you've matured in that area a little bit, being able to recognize what the defense is bringing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sophomore year, uh, it was still trying to build a connection with my receivers and stuff like that, and getting respect for the team. And there was just a lot of other aspects. But now I we have good connection from all the receivers and stuff. So now the game really slows down, and I could focus on defensive backs rolling coverages and stuff like that, sending blitzes, like guys like that, and audibling plays and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely slowed down a lot from now to my sophomore year.
One thing that stands out about you, Brock, is your ability to beat teams in multiple ways, both through the air and on the ground as well. You're one of the hardest guys to take down on this team. That all starts in the offseason with the work you did in the weight room. Talk about what you did in the offseason throughout your 3 years here at Canfield as the starting quarterback to get to this point now where, it takes 3-4 guys to bring you down.
Yeah, I mean, sophomore year I probably weighed about 180. Now I'm weighing about 205, and this offseason I put on like 15 pounds of muscle. So that's credit to I have a trainer I go to, Jack McDonald, and he helped me out with nutrition and stuff like that, and it really helped on the field too, because I could tell now sophomore year it's, one guy's bringing me down, but now it takes like 2 or 3 of them. So it's a credit to the work in the off season for sure.
We've talked about your receiving core and the connection that you guys have there. How about this offensive line that has really backed you up well? They give you a ton of time. They're great with pass protection. Kind of give a shout out to the O-line. I know a lot of them are seniors, 4 out of the 5 up front. So, how comfortable are you playing behind them?
Oh yeah, I love all those guys. I mean, we're all good friends and stuff. We have a good connection, and I just feel it's always a great feeling when you drop back and you just feel safe in the pocket and stuff like that. And when you're running and there's open holes, I mean, I know we as the backs we get the spotlight for what we do, but those guys up front, it starts with them. So I big credit to those guys.
Speaking of the backs, there's a very talented core of backs here at Canfield. Danny Inglis, of course, is one of them. Ryan Schneider has stepped in. Don Marzano, Scotty Eaton, all of those guys both block for you and run for you really well. So how much does that help in the offense? Kind of takes the weight off your shoulders a little bit, knowing that you got guys to your left and right that could also help you out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in big games, it's huge to have 2 or 3 guys who can run the ball, so make us multidimensional. And when we could add the pass to that with our receivers too, it's really hard to stop us.
This is going to be your last game at home at Cardinal Stadium, Bob Dove Field. Kind of talk about the emotions you're preparing for on Friday night, knowing this is your last Friday night football game at home.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be emotional. I mean, it always is playing your last game at home, but I'm just going to make the most of it, and I'm just going to try to come out with a win. That's all I want.
You're also a stud defensively for this team, a safety. You've been there for a long time, play both sides of the football. And I wanted to ask you this because New Philadelphia, this defense was on the field for 5-6 minutes a quarter. How difficult is it for you to play both sides? And, how much does it help with your conditioning that you did? You talked about training with your guys in the off season. How much does that help to now where you're playing every minute of every game?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. I mean, earlier in the season against like West Branch and like Poland, teams like that, when it was 90 degrees out and you're playing both ways, it was definitely a lot harder. But I mean, now it's a little better because of the temperature. It plays a big factor in it, but it's still playing full football game. So you got to really be mentally tough to play both sides of the ball the whole game.
New Philadelphia, you saw 3 times in a row. Aurora is a different opponent that you have not faced yet. What are some of the things you're looking forward to playing a really good Aurora team?
Yeah, we just want to leave an impression for them in that area that Youngstown football is legit, and Canfield football, we hit hard, we play hard, and we have a lot of passion for the game. So that's what the impression we want to leave for them.
Wanted to congratulate you on your commitment to Indiana. I know you're heavy on Iowa State. Danny Inglis, your running back, got offered by Iowa State, which was pretty cool. But, how are you in talks with Indiana right now? Of course, you're during the season, so things are busy with them, busy with you as well. Are you planning on making any future visits to Indiana?
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably head up for the Purdue game. It's a rivalry game, and I might have an official visit there December 9th.
Nice.
See some of the commits there, so it'll be nice. Yeah, but we're in contact.
Lastly, I want to ask you this. There's so many people that have impacted your life to get you to the point where you're at? You talked about your trainer, but I want you to have the opportunity to shout out all of those who have brought you to this point right now.
Yeah, so first of all, I like to thank my mom. I mean, when I didn't have my license and stuff, she was always driving me back and forth from the field and workouts and stuff like that. And I used to go up to Canton every week with my quarterback coach. It was an hour drive, and I want to thank my mom for all that stuff. And I'd like to thank my quarterback coach Jim Ballard. He was a big role model in my quarterback career, and he's helped me out a lot. Um, my trainer Jack McDonald with developing my body to become a great player and just be ready for varsity football. And yeah, those are the people. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you go down the list, your mom, your dad, obviously your siblings, your trainer, and all those have brought you to this point. Finally, for you, big senior class, 28 of you, you've been there to the state or for the regional semi and for the regional championship. But how excited is this group to have the opportunity to take down some big opponents and, hopefully try and get to state?
Yeah, I mean, we're taking it one game at a time, but that's our ultimate goal is to win the state championship. And we got a lot of motivation because this town, we've never won a state championship ever here. So we think we could do it. We have the talent to do it. We're just going to take it a week at a time and keep building in practice and stuff like that, keep getting better, and we'll see what happens.
Broc, we'll let you go. Appreciate you coming back on. I know you got a lot of film to watch before the game on Friday. So, hey, best of luck on Friday night. Hopefully we can make a great playoff run, and, good luck at Indiana as well.
Thank you.
Broc Lowry, the quarterback and the safety for the Canfield Cardinals. Another Coach's Corner, another player profile brought to you by Coca's Pizza here in Canfield.